Daddy's Den X Supreme, yes, really, happened over this last weekend. This tournament had some globally recognized names attending like Send, Base Mage, and Justice, but none of them got top 8. Instead, the top 8 was filled with newcomers and rising stars. Today, we'll be going over the top 8 of Daddy's Den X Supreme, talking about their journeys and why you should be on the lookout for all of these up-and-coming players. Now, I want to start off the video by clarifying that no one in top 8 was new to Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's just that their names are not recognized on the scale of some of the players that they defeated on their way to top 8 this weekend. And I'm going to go ahead and give a bit of a disclaimer here and say that we will be talking a lot more about the lower half of top 8 rather than the top half of it. After all, this is a video highlighting players you may not know who went on big upset streaks this weekend. While I will discuss the top 4 for sure, you all likely already know who Ouch is, so I won't be spending as much time with him than, say, Viola. Starting from the bottom of the top 8 and working our way up, our 7th place finishers this weekend at Daddy's Den were Viola, who plays Meta Knight, and Sparkle, who plays Hero. Now, these are some pretty uncommon characters for a top 8 like this, and I haven't even heard of Viola before, but who exactly did these players defeat to make it here? Viola started off her upset run at Daddy's Den by defeating Louis Money 2-0 in the semifinals to make it out of Pool's winner's side.
Lifetime, baby! They're scouting out this back air right now, bro. They want to kill Louis Money so bad, but the Nair is gonna do it! And Viola takes it 2-1 over Louis Money.
Now, Viola wasn't seeded incredibly low, still being seeded 34th, but Louis Money was the 2nd seed for the entire event. So this was an incredible upset from Viola. Viola started off top 48 with a loss to Opsign, who we'll definitely be talking about more later. Now in the losers bracket, Viola wasn't deterred, going on to beat Jojo de Hobo, one of the contenders for the best Toon Link main, and also defeating Mystery Soul, a very notable Incineroar main and winner of the heavyweight bracket. Now, with Jojo being the 16th seed and Mystery Soul being the 30th, Viola kept her streak up of performing impressive upsets. However, her next set was against Justice, arguably the best NA Min player. And not only did Viola defeat Justice, it was in a 3-0. Justice was the 12th seed for the tourney, extending Viola's streak of upsets and getting her into top 8. Unfortunately, Viola lost her next set versus JDV in a 3-0 loss, and since she was in losers already, was eliminated from the bracket.
You know
Back air grab.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. All right. All right, that's it for Viola.
Regardless, this was a very impressive run for someone seeded so low and with such an uncommon character like Meta Knight. Well, unless you live in SoCal, I guess. Our next 7th place finisher was Sparkle, an Oregon hero main. Now, Sparkle entered the event as the 28th seed, not as low as Viola, sure, but still not seeded to make it as far as he did. Sparkle started off the bracket by making out of his pool decisively in winner's side, defeating Seesaw the Incineroar main to do so.
He's not needing it, but great tech!
No way. Can we get the kill?
What you got cooking? Just the SD.
Sparkle's first set in top 48 was against Justice, who we brought up earlier and who beat Sparkle 3-0. Sparkle's first set in losers was versus Send, who had just come off of winning doubles with Louis Money.
Wait, he got one! Oh, yes. Okay, it's over.
right.
Whoa, let's go!
Congratulations
Send and
to
Louis
Luis
Money!
and Send.
And getting 2nd place in the heavyweight bracket.
Gonna be another up B.
Nice.
Back air.
No, he mistimed it! And Send,
Alright,
he's
that's
gonna
it.
bow out, and that will be
Yeah.
6-0 for Mystery Soul, and he's...
Now, very unfortunately, this set was not streamed. However, Sparkle ended up defeating Send in a Game 5 set. Sparkle then went on to have similarly close sets, defeating Pack Street and Rocky, both in Game 5 sets. Now, as someone who has absolutely no bias for Rocky whatsoever, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that apparently Rocky lost this set because of a misinput last stock Game 5, but since the set was not streamed, I have no real way of confirming that with my own eyes. Either way, it was a good victory for Sparkle, beating the Rocky Balboa to make it into top 8. Just like Viola, Sparkle would lose his first set in top 8, being eliminated by Kronos the Snake.
Kronos. Oh. Kronos staying alive. Using the heal, the snooze. Where is it?
No,
No,
Zoom! And that's gonna be it.
However, unlike Viola, this set also went down to a Game 5, which means that all 4 of Sparkle's last sets in this tourney were Game 5 nail-biters. That's honestly mad impressive for Sparkle to keep their cool and keep persevering through each of those sets. Moving on to our 5th place finishers, we have JDV and Despid, who I've talked about before on this channel quite a few times actually, so we'll start with JDV. JDV swept through his pool, but unfortunately, only 2 of JDV's sets were ever streamed, and they were both top 8 sets. Starting off top 48, JDV pulled up an upset by defeating Kronos. Now, knowing how this final tourney played out, this feels like a massive upset, but it's important to remember that Kronos was seeded 8th and JDV seeded 9th. Regardless of how they actually did in the end, this wasn't a huge upset seeding-wise, but a very impressive win when we consider Kronos' actual run beyond this point. JDV then lost to Ouch and went down to losers bracket, where he defeated MboZ, who had just come off of defeating Moxie, in a Game 5 set to make top 8. In top 8, JDV defeated Viola 3-0, like we talked about earlier, before losing to Mr. E for 5th.
That's a shield breaker, because I know JDV ain't expecting right now. Ooh, nah, I wasn't expecting that one.
Off the top, dribble.
Deathspade saw major strides this weekend with upsets aplenty. Deathspade, as the 20th seed for the tournament, started off by sweeping through the first 3 matches of pools before going up against Moxie to make it out of pools. In this set, Deathspade emerged victorious, defeating the 13th seed in a close Game 3 set.
Okay, here's the ledge trap situation. Oh, it goes for the witch trap, but now they have to grab. It's back. Okay, no grab. They
Shield in back, and the back air takes it.
the shield poke back here.
Deathspade then went on an impressive run in top 48, defeating Pack Street, who had just beaten Base Mage, before pulling off a massive win over Justice in a close Game 5 set. Deathspade made it to top 8 on winner's side and faced off against Ouch in winner's semis. Ouch would go on to defeat Deathspade in a 3-0 loss, sending Deathspade to losers, where they would immediately lose their next set against Kronos 3-1.
Oh, is that gonna be it?
Oh, not quite yet.
Rocket,
And it is clear.
This loss was very disappointing for Deathspade, but considering that Deathspade literally lost against the 1st and 2nd place finishers of the tournament, I'd say they have nothing to feel bad about. Now on to our 4th place finisher, Mr. E. Now, Mr. E is a player that has seen a bit of a return to form lately, with Mr. E seemingly being the butt of every joke during the Wi-Fi era, but lately having dominant performances in tournaments such as this. Mr. E started the weekend off by sweeping through their pool, defeating both Big Daddy Nom Nom
Another normal get up. I wonder if that's gonna get punished. No, it doesn't
No,
matter.
he's gonna find the back end.
and Spade to get out of pools on winner's side.
That's all he needs
Oh
to
gosh, the rising dancing blade, the landing there into forward smash.
Mr. E had some very impressive wins in top 48, defeating both MboZ and Lemon, a quite notable Joker player you've probably heard of before. They made top 8 winner sides and then lost in winner semis to Opsign. Remember them? Told you we'd get to them soon.
Much damage. Oh, you walked into that one. Is
could
this
be
it?
it.
Is this it?
Yes, it is. Offside makes it in with a 3-1.
Mr. E then went down to losers where he beat JDV, before going on to lose to Kronos in losers semis in a tight Game 5 set.
Not gonna kill though.
Oh my god, forward smash from a half stage.
No, he
won't do
missed.
it. That sucks.
The Mr. ESD.
That sucks.
Now we move on to our 3rd place finisher, Opsign. Now, if you're like me, you likely saw that name and went, who? But Opsign made sure their name was known this weekend. As the 18th seed, Opsign, who mains Zero Suit Samus, started off their weekend by sweeping through pools and making out of winner's side before going on to defeat Viola 3-0 and Rocky 3-1 to make it into top 8 winner's side. Opsign then went on to defeat Mr. E in winner's semis, making it to winner's finals against Ouch.
Gonna be that strong slot to rise up. That might
That's
be
gonna
it.
do it.
Never
No.
mind, but they don't
Doesn't have a
down
double
B.
jump, and that's gonna
Nah.
do it. And the
Opsign lost to Ouch 3-0 and was sent to losers finals, where they were defeated by Kronos 3-0 as well.
You gotta get him, bro.
he summoned the world's finest soldier on his. Oh yeah, no, and that down smash is gonna do the trick. Opsign.
Some hard losses, but Opsign went on an insane run this weekend, making 3rd place at a tournament that, by the way, again, had Send, Base Mage, and the Rocky Balboa. It is no small feat by any means. Now, if you've been paying attention, you'd know that our 2nd place finisher was Kronos, the Snake Main. You may have also noticed that they've been the brutalizer of the losers bracket. Nearly half of the players I've discussed so far were taken out in losers by Kronos. Kronos made a tear in the bracket, going through all of his pool nearly without dropping a game. In top 48, they suffered an upset loss to JDV, which we discussed earlier. Alright, no biggie. Why? Because Kronos decided to make the losers bracket his playground, going on a tear, beating H4, who had just defeated Louis Money, in a Game 5 set, before defeating Atlas the Zelda player 3-1 and Lemon also 3-1. But Kronos decided that the losers side of top 8 needed some cleansing too, as they defeated Sparkle, Deathspade, Mr. E, and Opsign all in their run to Grands. Now, unfortunately for Kronos, their terror would be stopped dead in its tracks by a 3-0 loss in Grand Finals by Ouch.
Try to recover high, maybe get something started. Forward air, and that will be it. Ouch will be the winner.
Which means yes, Ouch was our winner of Daddy's Den X Supreme. Ouch's run can only be described in one word: sweep. Ouch only lost 2 games the entire tournament. Once to Biggie Mouth, the set that Ouch won to make it out of pools.
Bro, well, you know, a man and his horse instinct. Bro. Oh,
Calls out the short hop.
And the second against JDV, a set that Ouch won to make it into top 8 winner's side. Every single other set, including all of his top 8 sets, were 3-0 sweeps. Ouch came into this tourney as the first seed and proved everyone right, sweeping through all in his way to make it to the apex of the tournament and winning Daddy's Den X Supreme. I still cannot believe the tournament was actually called that. Anyways, that was it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. This Thursday, I'll be making a video hopefully covering Smash Ultimate Summit 6, and then next week, we'll talk about Major Upset. If there's any other tournaments you want me to cover soon, let me know, and I hope you all enjoyed watching. Please consider following my Twitch channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.